There we go. And we're back. For, you know, what it's worth. Little technical difficulties there. Sorry. For whatever reason, my Twitch just whole thing just shut down and stopped streaming everything. Anyways, I do apologize. 2, 4, 6. All right, so 6 more traders. Really should have that say live again. Okay. Trader. Trader. There. Oh, it looks much better now. Oh, look, and our guy's done cooking. Much better. I'm gonna dink me around on the cost of these things, and I want that as cheap as possible. I also think I'm going to make a few more of these guys, so we'll drop that in there. We want some lecterns. Perfect. Stop. Oof. Yeah. That's definitely got to be a real door. Good grief. Wait, how many of you guys? Oh, yeah, I guess you were pretty filled up, weren't you? Still not gonna get these little babies cooked anytime soon. That's alright. I'll come back to them. Build away. There's not a button for that. It's not. It's alright. Well, we shall deal. Maybe we'll get some lucky and we'll get some more book traders. That seems to be the low I'm running out of the most is books. Yeah. Thank you. I'll take one of these. We'll just lock you in now. Go get cooked. I actually want Mystic Relics. Trying trying to decide if I actually want some more enchanting guys or if I'm really just happy with some more bookshelves. Get Fire Aspect 2 and a book. Take that. Yes, for SMPs with mods, you do need. Well, I don't know that you need CurseForge, but you do need the Forge launcher. You have to be running the same Forge, and then you have to have all the various mods. So what the CurseForge does for you is it actually does all the installation of that stuff for you. Do you need it? No. You can do a lot of things by hand if you really wanted to. So there is that method that you can do it by hand. You're probably running the latest launcher, and there is an issue with CurseForge and the latest Minecraft launcher that I know of off the top of my head. But there is a fix for it. I'll have to find you the instructions, and I can send you the instructions on that via Discord. I'll just PM it to you. With how to install with the latest Windows client. I rather suspect that that's probably the issue that you're running into right now, is you are on the latest version of Minecraft, and so you're running the latest Windows client, which doesn't work real well with CurseForge. Yeah, Overwolf is the same thing. So Overwolf is what took over CurseForge. It's the same thing. Yep. That is the same thing. Where did I put my axe? That's a full axe. That's good. We are getting books. Power 3. Aqua Affinity is not bad. All right, I think see 12s, 48, 60, so 5 of these guys give me almost a full stack of bookshelves per trade. Give me another potion of weakness. I'm gonna have to brew up some more of those things. I'm gonna go through a bunch here real quickly. Back into the room. All right. Yeah. We're getting books. 3, 4, so one more bookshelf guy. So that's some mod we actually have in here. So it's actually really funny. So these are actually full-size villagers, right? they're really real villagers. We just pick them up and put them in our pockets. It's one of the mods that are in here. So it's a kind of useful mod. It also helps prevent having to deal with makes it easier for transporting them. The other thing that, again, because we do everything focused on trying to make certain everybody's having a good, enjoyable gameplay session when they're playing. Oh, yeah, look at that. We're up to 3 bodies now. Nice. But because we try to make certain everybody's having a good, enjoyable gameplay session, having large villager farms of actual real-size villagers very lag-intensive on the server, which slows everything down for everybody. Having these villager farms like this, these are cheap, inexpensive, and they don't cause extra lag on the server. So it means that everybody gets to play at full speed. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of these guys just yet. They'll probably just sit there. All right. Are you going to be nice and give me... No. You're going to go around again. Go get cooked some more. You haven't been done being convinced to play nice. But that's 12 books, so that's 12 books of disenchanting. So that's good. That's more than what I've got upstairs anyways. We'll come back downstairs and check on those guys after a little bit. Let's go make some more things for the books and things store. Fastest way is going to be this way. Oh, this tower is huge. Running up and down, it gets tiresome after a while. All right. So let's go see what we have to disenchant. So let's look at our pickaxes that we have. Sharpness 5. That'll come in handy. Lucky Strike. Efficiency and Mending. Who wouldn't want some of that? There's another Sharpness 5. Disintegration 4. I have no idea, but maybe somebody wants it. That's a fortune. 6, 7, 8. I can do 8 of these guys. Silkstone, efficiency. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So what you were about to witness is how we disenchant on this server. Didn't even stop to think if I had enough corpse dust for this or not. I don't. Ugh, grave dust. Should probably just put in a recipe for that. All right. Well, we can do 5, so we'll take the first 5 off the list. Do those. 3, 4, 5. I'll have fun with that. We'll be here. This is our Saturday stream, so this is our long stream day. So we're in it to win it. Disenchant away. Oh, there's the other. I'm like, I feel like there's one more I should be doing. There we go. All right. So we got some. Stop opening that inventory. We got a few more books for the books and things. I don't need that. So let's see. Fastest way from here to there is going to be reach in, grab our ender disc, set it to the second to the bottom floor. Step on our little telepad and off we go. Whoosh, to the community center. Excuse me, sir. Sir, I'm sorry. Creepers are not allowed here. That is against the rules. Sorry. No. Sorry, we can't have creepers here. Spiders, really? And zombies. Where are you running to, boys? This is a mob-free zone. Or it's supposed to be a mob-free zone. I should probably take and actually put some lights out here to help maintain the mob-free zone. All right. I guess we can just... oh. Sorry, I started putting things in. There we go. We'll just dump them inside the crates. We'll try not to drive people too crazy with them sitting in all the weird places. We said no creepers. None. Not a zip. We do not need things exploding around here. Maybe that's what we should do today. Let's go work on our explosion magic. I have not done that one. So we'll take the fast way back to our magic studio. And first thing up to do is to... All right, so how do we want to do... Oh, that's going to lag the snot out of the server, though. Maybe a sigil? We need to make a sigil. But I think for argument's sake at this point, to avoid super amounts of lag, we'll do a smite explosion. That's a good idea. Projectile might be a little better. Yeah, we'll do projectile. That should be fine. So projectile, where are you at? Explosive potentials. There we go. Damage is fine. Oh, we can keep the radius in. That might be interesting. Small boom boom. Damage. All right, so we are going to need some more Arcanist ink. We need some more vellum. We got plenty of ash, so I need to go find some water. Water. Easy way would be down here. Yep, down here, because we got the water for the farms down here. This will work. So we need some leather. So when doing mana and artifice, and they say you need vellum, what they're really meaning is you need to look for a source of water, and you're just going to right-click the water with your piece of leather, which makes the magical, mystical scrolls that they're looking for. And this should be plenty. We'll put a sack through here. The other thing that we are going to need is some more Arcanist ink, which I think is pretty painless to make. Maybe we should use up the old stuff we had floating around too. That sounds like a great idea. All right, so we'll throw that in there. We'll start describing work. We'll see if it actually falls over before it gets done scribing it. If it does, then we'll fill in with whatever we're left over with. And if not, then hey. I also think it'd be a good idea to still want the machine gun, but maybe we'll do a machine gun ice spell. So maybe we'll do Wrath with ice. That wouldn't be too bad, I suppose. Play havoc on the denizens of the Nether, that's for certain. I mean, that's not a bad idea. Wonder if I should bother with Blink anytime. Oh, good. All right, so we have now written our spell. Yeah, I think we want Wrath with Ice Magic. That'll be good. It's not like air has a damaging spell component. No, I think this will be good. Leave all the rest of that stuff. Defaults. We don't need anything beyond that. We'll see how far it gets. So we have 2 spells that we will go and whip up downstairs. I say this like this is going to be quick and easy. It usually involves, well, as you can see, there are a number of items that we're going to need. Ooh, a motive magic. Yuck. I hate making those things. It'll be all right. We have time. Yeah, we have about 2 hours. So we should be able to get at least 1 or 2 of these spells done. And then go work on getting them rooted. I wonder if I can combine these ink bottles together in the crafting table. I wonder if that's a thing. Yep, that is a thing. Cool. So we'll dump that in there. So now we have 2 spells. Blah. All right, so let's start with Projectile Explosion, because that one's going to be the more fun one that we want to play around with sooner rather than later. So we are going to need, not too terribly bad, and not too terribly bad. We'll definitely have to go back upstairs to make a couple of little items for it, but we're going to have to make a trip to the Nether. Because we need a mote of fire for this. So let's stick that up there for a second. Do we have... Let's see, we need blaze. So there's the 6 blaze, S blaze we need for the moat. We're also going to need some glowstone, which is 4 of these, and netherrack, which is going to be 4 of these. Hey, Frog, welcome back. You haven't missed too much. We are on our way to the Nether, as I have decided that, yep, definitely need to go ahead and get my explosion spell sooner rather than later. And it would give us something fun to do and let people see a little bit of the pain in the neck / fun things you get to do when working with magic. So this is a function of what is called a storage out. Oh, well, we're not going very far into Nether. We only need to go a little ways in here. Get my... I left my other my wand. Give me the storage class. There we go. If you want to see the Nether, I'll go stick my head out over here. So we are actually in a Soul Sand Valley over here. Yeah, that looks like, you know, normal Nether. There are a couple of places that we have down here that are not standard Nether. But they're a little ways out. So. And not on the board for what we need, because we only need to do is this little thing right here. That's got everything in place. It's going to get bright and fiery. If it's hard to see the shapes in the fire, trust me, I know it's irritating. But there's a triangle. There's another triangle. Square. I want a circle. Thank you. There we go. Ritual's done over with, and we are left with a mote of fire. But that is not going to be the only mote that we are going to need to make today. But since we're down here, there is a really spectacular place that you might like to see, Frog. Let's see. It would be straight ahead of us. So they have in this this mod pack, there is the Crystalline Chasm that is filled with netherrack and these large rose quartz blocks, which are just fun. They also have these big hulking behemoths. Yeah, so these guys are part of the Mana and Artifice mod pack. These are demons. Now, once you get far enough into the mod pack, you have to choose a faction to align yourself with. Given the fact that my base is on top of a volcano, I thought prudent to align myself with the demon tribe. So these guys are actually my friends, and they don't hurt me. However, if you are not aligned to them, they would want to nibble on your face. That being said, there are like 3 times the amount of critters in the overworld that I have to worry myself with because they don't like me because of my faction. So yeah, there's good and bads to doing everything. Oh, hush, Mr. Ghast. But we didn't have to go very far because really all I needed access to was my... Oh, that's the wrong spell. I just needed access to my ritual area to do my mote of fire. So we'll say bye-bye to this hot place. The factions are... Let's see. There's 4 or 5 of them. Let me see. So there's the demon faction, which is the one I'm part of. There is the fairy faction, which one of the members, Mini Taco, is aligned with. Then there is the Wizards Council, which Katoa, Bazinga, Zoda, Katoa, Bazinga, and Zoda are all aligned with. And then there is the really hard faction, which is the undead faction. who's nobody's aligned with them. The undead faction is like playing Man and Artifice on like hardcore hard mode. It's just not pleasant to do. So I would not suggest it by any stretch of the imagination. That's the wrong spell. I'm doing explosion. All right. So everything else I think we can make in-house here. So I think we're good. So if you spend a lot of time in the overworld, fairy faction would be the one that I would make the suggestion to play with, just because they have one of their members is a little pixie, and it looks like this little glowing light ball in the air. It's freaking hard to hit, and annoying. Absolutely just annoying. So we'll need iron ingots. Now we have iron ingots. So let's get ourselves some focus. I've heard that statement before. Gold nuggets, red, and redstone dust. Need 4 gold nuggets. And some Bintium dust. All right. We are not making that. So this is Man and Artifice's mystical crafting table. And then the only other thing that I need to know. Oh yeah. So this is my big occultism storage. We have refined storage in here too, which behaves kind of sort of like this. The difference here is that this one is based purely on a magic system, so there's no redstone flux or power required to operate it. Where refined storage, you actually have to figure out how to supply power to it. It's probably about the biggest differences. This is nice because, yeah, you can just drop everything you want in there and then up triangle quadrant. You can just drop everything you want in there and then just be able to craft straight from it. So we'll need that guy and that guy. That should cause, there it goes, a little bit of magic. All right. Now we have the focus. So 2 red glyphs, bow, sword, arrow, snowball. Oh, please tell me I have not run out of snowballs. Oh, good. I have not run out of snowballs. All right. We'll need a gold sword. I don't think it's going to like that gold sword. I think it wants a full sword. Diamond sword. We'll need a stone, iron, and wood sword. Of course we do. Sword. Stone. And iron. Well, I've done those way out of order, but that's all right. There we go. All right, and then we need a bow. A crossbow. Let's just make a fresh bow. It won't hurt. And stone glyphs. I figure out if I got some red dye or not. I don't think I do. I have poppies in here. That'll give me red dye. A little bit of poppies. All right. So, arrow. Oh, we need 3 of these things? Oh, for crying out loud. Look, this is why you look, because that would have been painful. 1, 2. Nuggets. 5, 6, 7, 8. Redstone. I suppose it would be painful for me. I think some other people have their bases set up a little bit more efficiently than mine is. But you know, that's what you get when you live in a tower. Spencer, TNTs. Okay, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I need from up here. So let's go. Let's go downstairs. So this is all of the work you end up doing to put in order to. So once you have selected your spell and you've scribed your spell recipe, then you have to come down here and actually infuse your spell recipe with magic. And the way you do that is you collect all of the necessary components. Right, lever and that. Let's clean up my inventory just a little bit. One of those. That one. That. Don't have the redstone yet. That's all right. I'll get that. 2 redstone. All right. So wait. Where is the? I don't see the mode of fire. Am I blind? There it is. Oof. All right. Oh, I did have snowball in my inventory. Okay, so all of that's there. So 2 redstone, some gunpowder. It's not really hard. It's just you just have to remember all the steps. Now the nice thing is that you can always go and talk to somebody else who's done the work on this already. So if you're playing with more than one person, if they've already crafted the spell, you actually can go and borrow the spell from them, and you can still cast it just fine. So once the spell has been crafted, the hard part's over with. But as nobody else on the server is aligned with the demon tribe, then there's nobody else on the server that can actually do this. Dispenser. This way. That's safer. So what you're seeing is somebody creating a spell from scratch right here. Lever and Desert Nova. Now, this would be much harder, and this was really hard at the beginning when we first started playing, but mostly because I didn't have my inventory system set up. So having a good inventory system to back you up while you're doing this really makes a huge difference. That's what I'm missing. Good deal. There we go. And so that starts the infusion ritual. And so then we just draw shapes in the air. Shapes in the air. There we go. So that's probably about the hardest thing that you have to deal with, is making certain that it recognizes the right shape. And as long as you got all the right shapes in place, it infuses itself, and you get a brand new spell. And we will call this Explosive Magics. That'll be good. And so, with Explosive Magic, we can now go have a little bit of fun. Let's go test this out in a safe place to test it out, which is where we do all of our testing magic at. And that is the mining dimension. Yes, now we can explode things, right? So, okay, so that's not exactly what I was expecting it to be. I was expecting like TNT explosion. Yes, now we can do things like explode the village. And I rather expect that this probably will, but I don't think I made the spell strong enough. But that was kind of intentional. On the off chance that, you know, something bad happens. Alright, so we're just going to have to play around with this one. So, the more you cast a particular spell, the better you get with it. So that's the thing, right? So the more I cast this particular spell, my explosive magic spells, the better I get with it. By getting really good with it, I can then move it over to my red book here, which allows me to modify the spell and make it much, much stronger than what it is. So right now it's a little weak, but it's a little weak because I'm trying to learn the spell. Once I've learned the spell, then I can make it like stupid strong. So like watching how I was doing that clearing things out, that spell I was using to flatten the area earlier on in the stream, those actually all started out very small. They weren't very big. So when I first had them, right, they did 1 block. That was it. But by using it over and over again, I was able to make it much, much stronger and get much, much better at it. And so now it works better. But I come over here because sometimes spells don't exactly work the way you think they should. Especially in the Mana and Artifice mod. Spells don't always work the way you think they should. Ow. Just slam my head into that wall. And because of that, casting them inside your base can have some unexpected consequences. You could. But so, and here I will. So if you look up in the top left-hand corner of my screen, there is that number 75 there. And so there's like 2350. There's a number there on a bar. So that's my mana I have. So with an auto clicker, while I could hold the button down, it would cast it nonstop for me. The problem here is eventually I run out of mana and I have to stop. Because otherwise you'll actually keep spamming the mana. It'll pull from your life force and then eventually kill you. So it's not exactly ideal. This Oculus here will explain how good you are getting with it. So like the beam spell, I've got some more work to do. It's not quite done yet. Anything in green is spells that I've mastered. So if we look for Explosion, which should be in here somewhere, there it is. So you can see we've just started on it, but it shouldn't take us long to get it filled out, to level it up, as it were. But you do have to go through a process with it. And again, the nice thing is that now that I've made the explosion spell, I could share the explosion spell with you. Here you go. Here's my first form of the explosion magic. It's weak, but here you go. You can go learn it. And then you too could cast it over and over and over again and learn the spell really well. And then you would be able to make it stronger. So it's I'm glad you're enjoying it. So that's one set. Do I really want... This one's more expensive. Nether Star. Mode of Ender. Mode of Magic. I guess that's not too bad. We can do this one real quick. This one won't be too bad. And I thought it was going to be more painful than that. So where did I put? There it is. You'll need one of these. I don't remember what all I need for this ritual, and that's the problem. It's trying to remember what all you need for every ritual. But that's okay. They put a nice little hint system up here for you. Let's see. So we need 4 ink sacks, 4 feathers, 4 books, and 2 lecterns. Need all kinds of stuff, that's for certain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feathers. I think I'm going to need to make a chicken farm. Lecterns. Oh. I need bookshelves. I also need books too. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 books. So I need 2 bookshelves. Let's go get 2 bookshelves. Nice. That's great. Love it. Yeah, those tend to be like full auto. There's not really too much you have to worry about with those things. I think when the last 3. There's guy wants 1. Last chicken farm I made. It's this weird thing. Oh, so yeah, it was a full-on chicken cooker. Nice. Yeah, there's a dispenser that you can use for that. I know the type of, well, I know a version of that. I don't know if it's the same version that you would have used, but I've made one that behaves almost similar to that. I've also made one it's just an entity crammer. Yeah, it works really fast. I've done an entity cramming chicken farm once, where it just the chickens sat in a hole, and as they laid eggs, there was a hopper underneath of it, and it would take the eggs and put the eggs into a dispenser, and then just keep dispensing chicken eggs. And so as the chickens grew up, they entity crammed and slowly killed each other. That was fun. But yeah, I think the lava chicken farm is probably better because that way you at least get cooked chicken out the deal. So that's useful. Oh, nice. If you can remember how to do a redstone setup from memory, you're doing really well. I do a lot of modded Minecraft, and so I spend a lot of time not playing in a vanilla world. So I get a little rusty on my... Okay, we'll be here. Go grab some chow, man. Oh, maybe just what I need. No, that's the wrong version. X. All right. Pumpkins. Nice. Yeah, being able to do that stuff from memory is a real useful. If you do a lot of Minecraft in general, it's a useful skill to have. Being able to call vanilla redstone contraptions to mind is actually very useful even in modded world, because sometimes there's just not a clean way to do it in the modded side, but you can mix in some old school redstone contraptions and get some really interesting behavior sets out of it. I need some ender pearls. I think that's all I need. Yeah, that should be everything. Where is my shear spell? Please tell me that's not a wave. Okay. Let's just rename this one. And chop, 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 chop. All right, I'll need one of those. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That can stay on for right now. Where did I put my... Really? I'm just gonna... Yeah, whatever. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this one's not such a bad ritual to do. It works if you can draw a circle, though. Circle. You. And then because we don't like mob spawning, turn back on all the lights and open the door. All right. So we have the 2 moats that we need. Right. Let's see. Moat. We need Mystic and 2 lessers. Where's the set? It's set to the wrong place. So we're going to be making ourselves some more focuses. 2, 3. And I need a bit of the Vintium, the blue stuff. Dot of the red. And then we need some nuggets. Because that should all still be right here. Bang. All right. So then Nether Star, 2 snowballs, and some colored glyphs. So Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Another star. How many of these? Ooh, we're getting a little low on other stars. These are just called glyphs. Okay, so we need a blue, white, blue, light blue, and cyan. So white, blue. We need some light blue dyes, so we need some white. I don't have any white. Bone meal. Now we have white. Nice. That sounds tasty. Light blue. Trying to remember how to get cyan. Wonder if I have dye seeds. Do I have some dye essence. Oh, that might actually be easier. There we go. Ooh, it's a thundery day. All right. Well, we are on fire today for magic spells. Usually I can't get more than one of these things done in the stream just because of the amount of material it takes to make one of these spells. So to get two of these things done in one day, that's a good day. That is a very good day. Usually takes a bunch of stuff to make these things. So you spend a little bit of time collecting them all up. This one, apparently, is in not bad spirits. Didn't require too much extra. So there we go. So I work as a software programmer, as my normal 9-to-5 job. And so I kind of have to have a fairly good internet connection. So I have to pay for real high-speed internet, and we live really close to an area that has real high-speed internet. That's kind of why. I need it more for the job. So the fact that I needed it for the job, but I also get it for gaming is just like added bonus. All right. We now have an ice rain spell. And that is what we are going to call this guy. That'll do. That'll do, that'll do, that'll do. All right, so our storage. We'll put our box away of goodies. We now have a new spell to go and play around with and have fun. This one's not quite as dangerous. Yeah, so I before I moved to where I'm at now, we used to live on top of a mountain like 9,500 feet up in the air, something like that. So I feel your pain. We used to have microwave and antennas that brought our internet up, and so on a good day, we were about where you're at right now. So I know exactly the pain that you're experiencing. It's a hailstorm. That's what I need to name this spell. No, when we used to live on top of the mountain, there was we didn't game. There was not enough bandwidth for it. And so we lived real close to there's a science lab just up the road from us that used most of the internet for everything, and so they got all the bandwidth, and so what little bit we got was good enough to browse the internet, check a couple websites, and maybe watch a little bit of YouTube. We didn't do too much more past that. So I fully understand what you're going through. Let's go make it hail in another. Let's actually go turn that saying into reality when hell freezes over. Oh, gents. I understand you're having a bit of a hot time today. That's not too bad. Hey, dude. You know, you're not being very cooperative, buddy. Come on. Aha. That works rather well. I can imagine. Especially if they're depending on what they're doing, if they're doing like a real high trucking high graphics game. Yeah, I would definitely agree with them and calling you a trooper on that one, because that's tough. Well, this is a fun spell to play with, but not a whole lot of use cases for it, especially not here in the Nether. Ah. They don't like the cold. Yeah, the Minecraft community has a really good community. I've been really impressed with it over the years. I thought it's been pretty cool. I've been enjoying myself. I've met a lot of really interesting and neat people, and learned a lot of things over the years. That is definitely a fun spell to play with. Not really useful in the Nether, though. I bet you it would work really well in the end, though. Okay, so I'm going to quantify that with most of my, I haven't done too much on the vanilla side of Minecraft. I spent more time in the modded community, where Dream's not really a big thing over here in the modded world. So I haven't had to deal too much with that. Just saying. I imagine Dream was a thing. I've heard the name. I know who he is, but yeah, in the modded world, not really. Yeah, not really that big of a deal. At some point in time, I think I'm going to end up having to. So this server that we're playing on. It's not the first server I've managed, but this mod pack we're playing is the first mod pack I've ever built myself. So I've learned some things in building the mod pack, which I thought was fantastic. And then the other stuff that I have figured out along the way is that sometimes it's just necessary to get exactly what you want to do it yourself. So I think, yeah, I built the mod pack. I didn't build the mods. I built the mod pack. And I think I may, time permitting, I may actually build an actual mod for the server itself. I'm gonna have to figure out what I want it to do, but oh my word! All right, dude. You just got far too much health. Holy cow. Just die already. Okay. Sword. Where is my... There's my newly created. Hey, Creeper, you want to know what it's like to be met with... That was pretty fun. Okay, that was good. Oh. You want to be careful telling people your mom's cooking and then the smoke alarm's going off. That's... You give people the wrong idea. Good grief, dude. Die already. Wow. Smoky food, yeah. It's called flavoring. Everybody likes a good little flavoring. Do I have any melons? I do have some melons. So one of the other things that happens on this server, on this mod pack, and there you go, a prime example of it. As you eat different food, you actually can get more hearts. Well, so this little crystal right here, I am collecting the spirits of those big green monstrosities so that I can make one of them my pet to summon up. So I only have 53 more to kill. So Funny you should say that. So far on the list of... Hang on, let me take care of this real quick. I have... What are these? Elderberries? Yeah, that's fine. There we go. So on the list of friends, that's what we call them. I actually have a... I don't know about... Well, so the baby zombies are just zombies as far as this system is concerned. So I don't get a choice of what kind of zombie gets summoned up when I summon a zombie. So like this guy is an armored zombie that just got summoned up. So is it possible to get a baby zombie? Absolutely. What are the chances of it? I couldn't even begin to tell you. But yeah, so we can summon zombies, have evokers, vindicators, wither skeletons, endermen, you know, the pet enderman. The only enderman you can have a staring contest with, and he'll look away first. Let's see, what else do we have here? Spiders. I got phantoms, you know. We got aerial assault force. Skeletons, zombies, creepers. Creepers are fun just because, you know, they run up on something they don't like and then they just explode. But they don't explode on you, so... But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. One of the things I've been working on is, so killing those big zombie guys. I have to kill 100 of them, but in killing 100 of them, then I can cause them to come into being. And so there's red ones and green ones. The red ones are stronger than the green ones, but killing either one of them counts the same. So I imagine that I can summon a red one just as much as I can summon a green one. It just takes... it's just random. What did you get? But yeah, explosion magic is fun. So when cast on something on the ground, it rockets them up into the air. So I got to explode a creeper. So they got to feel exactly what it's like to be exploded. Such a good time. So those big hulking green guys, they're basically called hulking zombies. They come in two forms. The green one, which is the ones you saw me killing, and then the much bigger, powerfuler ones, which are red ones, which are the red hulking zombies, which you typically only find in the Nether, but you can find occasionally out here in the overworld. They're about twice the health as the green one, and they hit much harder. Nasty little boogers. Oh, good. What? Don't throw the spellbook on the ground. Oh, 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 oh. No fire, no fire, no fire. That's not a good spell to use around that. So that guy with the bow and arrow is part of the Wizards Council. And then you see this little glowing dot right here. This is a fairy. For all the trouble that they're worth, little pains in the butts. but they're really tiny. They're like this little floating, glowing light source, and they're really hard to. As you run closer to them, they just fly away. So they always stay outside of melee range. So you have to range them with something, whether that's a spell or you get lucky and hit them with a bow and arrow. Flying creepers. That's the best. Come here, Mr. Creeper. Oh. Let's have Creeper A meet Creeper B. Enderman. Here we go. So, what did one creeper say to the other creeper? They have a very interesting communication language. It's probably not even right. He had it was quite the explosive topic. Green, that's a good one. I like that one too. Oh, that's not too bad. 2 spells in one day. I can believe that. He just wants a hog. It's kind of funny since, you know, creepers are probably one of the most terrifying things for Minecraft players, especially people who do hardcore. And the whole backstory of a creeper was it was just a bug in the code that turned the pig and built the pig the wrong way. Which I thought was fabulous. Most terrifying thing in Minecraft is secretly a mistake. All right. Let's go get eaten. Now, one really cool. Nice. I did one hardcore vanilla survival world, I don't know, a year and a half ago. I think I made it about 1,000 days, and then I ran out of things to do. I didn't know what to do after that point. It's like, okay, so what do I do now? What do I do now? Once you get to a point where you figured out how to build in like safe areas and everything else, it's not too bad. And then the question is always then like, okay, well, what do you do after you've completed all your projects? Yes, my big tortoises. One of you guys has got to give me some. Yeah, I suppose you could do that. Well, so my big thing is I do farms. I make lots and lots of farms. This season I haven't actually done much in the way of farming. And by farms I mean like redstone contraptions and whatnot. So there's a YouTube channel where I keep all my streams at. And so like during season 1, we had some fairly monstrous redstone contraption systems that we put together and built. That I put together and built last season. The biggest one culminating in what we affectionately referred to as the Wellness and Success Center. And on the Wellness and Success Center, you could go there and you could recycle any armor you found in the world. So it was this full automated system that would disenchant and strip all the enchants off from whatever gear you fed it, convert that piece of gear back into its base materials, and then give the whole thing back to you. The enchants, the base materials, everything. So if you really wanted to, you could recreate that piece of gear from what you sent into the recycling center, provided that you gave us a full health piece of gear. So, I mean, you couldn't take an almost dead pickaxe and expect to get stuff back for the pickaxe. But reasonably well, you could take that sort of thing. And so that was just one of the 4 functions. It had a full, like, big enchanting chamber section. So you could just walk in there and put whatever enchants you wanted to. We had this monstrous EXP shower station. So we had, I think it was like 140, 150 dispensers that were always stocked full. Iron, finally. Now I have one of every tortoise. There's the iron, there's the redstone. So this is Trevor. And then there's David. And back here it should be Sam, Terry. So there's Sam, yep. Jerry and Terry, or Todd. Sam, Jerry, and Todd. Them's the boys. Bring these all down. Is everybody on the floor now? Thank you. But yeah, so you could stand underneath this. I've got a baby version of what I'm talking about. Hang on. Put some of this stuff. Actually, I need to repair these anyways. This will work. Here. Get down. So in the old server, on Valhalla 3, in prior season, we had these dispensers that were filled with bottles of enchanting. And there was this whole mob spawning area down below the building that was constantly spitting out skeletons, zombies, witches, whatever we could find and stick in whatever we could find in a spawner. We stuck it in a room and it was just generating these creatures over and over again and killing them, collecting the experience for the kills, and then converting all that experience into bottles of enchanting. And then you could step on a specific area and use it to get levels, to use mending to repair your tools. We had that thing turned up so high that we had to put a button in place, and it would lag you out. It would generate so much lag during the activation of it that we couldn't do it on a pressure plate. We had to take the pressure plate away and we put a button down. And one push of a button, if you had no levels underneath your belt, one push of a button was good for 63 levels. And it was faster than any Ender farm you could ever ask for, because you hit the button, wait the 2 seconds worth of lag, and you're instantly level 60. So without mods, yes, because you can still go and do the same thing that we're doing here. So you can buy bottles of enchanting from the clerics. You just trade with the cleric and he'll sell you bottles of enchanting for an emerald. Or actually multiple emeralds, but if you zombify him and then change him back, then you can make his cost down to 1 emerald. So you can make bottles of enchanting cheap. And you just buy them for an emerald apiece from a cleric. This guy right here, the cleric, So a master cleric will sell you bottles of enchanting. He'll also sell you ender pearls too, but I mean, the clerics are nice because their trades don't really change. Ah, yeah. If you're mob spawn. Oh yeah, that's right. Because with the 18.2 update, any light level, it's got to be light level 0 for it to actually continue to work to spawn mobs now. That's why you've got too much lighting around. So in the latest Minecraft update, they changed the light levels required to spawn monsters, and that even comes from out of like spawners. So it has to be pitch black, like light level 0. You can't have any light coming into their spawning area whatsoever. So if you have any like torches or anything else nearby, and I think it was even one of those, they said that you could put one torch in. So believe it or not, redstone actually emits a light. So if it's all redstone, then you've got a light source in there. Hey, just pull out the redstone and it'll go back to generating mobs. If you were given what I know about what changes they made, if I had a mob farm, the way I would, I don't know how yours is set up, but I typically do a water filtration system. So I like to spawn the mobs and then shove them off from whatever platform they're on. Usually by water. Now, depending on what kind of mob farm you're using, if it's outdoor and it's like kind of what you see on YouTube, a lot of those are spawn platforms, and so those tend to have blocks on top of them to try and shade them. But you know what you need to do is actually enclose it all the way around. You can't have any light whatsoever. It's just the way that works now. Yeah, and you're probably just getting burnt by the redstone signal. So if we get a redstone dot here, right, and then we get a lever. Oh god, I got some extra levers. Right, so you know, this is very simple. Whatever, but that little bit of redstone right there, that's actually putting out a light source. And so that will mess up your mob farm. Yeah, and it's as simple as that. That will stop your mob farm right there. It is. It meant a lot of people had to change the way they do their mobs, mob farms. Here in the modded world, this is 1.18.1, so we are just before that change went in, which is in 1.18.2. But I suspect we're not far from having to deal with that ourselves. So that can get very annoying. What's that? Can you change that? So as long as you're not doing anything that is specifically unique to 1.18.2 in your world, yeah, you can just choose to load up an older version of Minecraft and reload your world in that. And it would roll things back and it would go back to working again. It's your solo world. Yeah, you can absolutely make that change. So when you pull up your Minecraft launcher, you have to look down in the play section of it, but there should be a way for you to say don't run on this version, or you should be able to select a different version and then roll back to that version. So this is part of Create. This is exactly what it is. So that's just a simple nether wart farm in the center. And then this is a harvester that just rolls back and forth. It's a type of contraption that they call a minecart contraption. So this is like basic redstone. So, you know, powered rail, and the minecart runs back and forth. Well, as long as the minecart rolls, these things will roll. And so if the plant is ready to be harvested, then they'll harvest it as they roll over top of it. And so this is a great little automated, modded farm. But this it's very fun to watch. Oh, here, you'll like this one. Let me take you over to Piffering Towers. Shale has a bigger version of this one, but instead of going back and forth on a minecart, hers spins. Come on. Come on, you telepathic you. And away we go. Come on, server. Internet's getting a little laggy today. All right. Oh, I don't know how I missed that. So this is Shale's farm. It's pretty much the same thing as mine. The only difference is hers runs in circles. It's the same style contraption, but instead of going back and forth, hers goes in one direction and then just spins around in circle. But this is a much bigger version of the same type of farm. So as you can see, some of these plants have little flowers on top of them. Yeah. And so what it's doing right now is these chests will fill up as it runs around. It collects all the stuff. And so the chest fills up. And so what it's doing is it's emptying the chest right now into her storage. And then once it's done emptying it, the interface over here at the on this side right here will disconnect. And then this thing will spin back around in circles again. And as it does, you can watch it harvest the flowers that are ready to be harvested. And then it goes all the way back around to the other point, dumps it off, and then does this over and over again. So, you know, you can get a lot of resources this way. And you don't have to confine this just to like this type of farming, which, by the way, remember I was telling you about mystical agriculture in here where you can grow the resources that you want? Yeah, that's what these flowers are. So like this is, let's not stand in the ones that look funny. Yeah, so here you go. Here's a sheep seed. So with enough of the sheep essence, which is what spits out from that sheep seed, you can make anything sheep related, which is wool, or anything of that nature. Wool, mutton, that sort of thing. So literally, Shale is over here growing. Like there's skeletons, so she's growing skeleton bones. Go away, Phantom. I'm not interested. She's got parrots. Is what she has. And the parrot's down here. Where are you at? There's a dog. Ah, there you go. There's a couple of her parrots. And she's been working on this huge aquarium build of hers. She's got fish and turtles. There was a set of dolphins in here. I don't know if there still is a set of dolphins or not. She's got some axolotls in there. Yeah, there's some dolphins still. Oh. Yeah, so this is Shale's Sea World, as he calls it. Um, and go fishing, swimming with the fishes. So she built all of this stuff by hand. And the dirt blocks over there is where I think she's planning on doing more coral work. She just hasn't gotten around to it yet. Uh, but yeah, this is Shale's place. She's still in the middle of building it up, but it's starting to look very nice. It's supposed to be a giant mushroom cap when she gets done with it, so I can't wait to see that. And she too has the same sort of storage system that I use. This really fancy storage system, but it's useful. Haha, Phantom's on fire. Yeah, but, a lot of fun little things that we do when we get around into. Yeah, I think it would be cool to have like a coliseum somewhere. That would be fun. And then like me and Bazinga can go over there and have pet battles. I know at some point, this area right here, I have plans on putting an Elytra flight course. This is a huge mountain area that has lots of like cabins, and I figure I can punch some holes through some places. And there was a tunnel system somewhere here that had this like narrow hole that you could fly into that would let you go pretty much all the way down to bedrock and then come back up out the other side. So yeah, me and Zoda found it earlier in the season, and we were talking about actually converting this whole range here into a giant Elytra flight course. Yes, you could. You could build a section of the Coliseum and then just copy and paste, copy and paste. And you make it go really quickly that way. And that's fine. I think if I'm, then that might be something to do if I wanted it up really quick. I think I will, if you're that dead set on doing it once. So I've sent your application into the rest of the team. So once we hear back from them, if we can get you on, then I would say if that's something you want to build, then I'm not going to build it. I'm going to let you build it. So that's that's something you want to do. I am perfectly happy making my weird contraptions. Well, we can. Well, like I said, I had to go look. I think there's an alternative method that you can do to install the mod pack that may not even involve CurseForge. So we may still be able to get you in here. You just may not go through CurseForge, that's all. It's not the end of the world. And I thought I was being clever with this little setup right here, and Bazinga's got a better setup for this than I do. The mod pack itself, I think, like, hang on, let me look. Let me look, see how much storage space is taking up on my disk. Do I have a save in here? I do have a save in here. Okay. So without the save information, the mod pack, the total with all of the mods in it, it's at 1.4 gigs worth of size. That's how much space it uses. That's with all 137 mods installed. Yeah, I tried keeping it small and light. I said, really, we're taking advantage of the fact that people that we're going to be playing may not be have the greatest of internet connections. Oh, yeah, that's perfect for you. Now, you could, like, server world, if you wanted to copy it to server. Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want a world download. The world download so far of the server is almost 12 gigs in size. But the mod pack itself is very tiny. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, it's a lot bigger than I wanted it to be. But, you know, that's lessons learned. We, in an effort to make life easy for everybody, we went and pre-generated a huge area of land that everybody's playing in. So we open up the map. And so our world is 6,000 blocks across and 6,000 blocks north and south. And all of that's already been pre-generated. So that's all been saved as if somebody had walked across that particular chunk already. That reduces some of the lag because you don't have to wait for the server to actually generate those chunks. But at the end of the day, it does mean that it makes the world size much bigger. Wow. I am having some lag today. That'll make it. Yeah, I was like they're just like hiccuping in the air. It looks weird. Not certain what's causing that. I may have to actually restart my game. Could just be something with the slimes themselves. I don't know. Usually my Saturday streams are last couple of Saturdays have had some interesting issues with networking, so it may be a network-based issue. Hard to say because I'm moving normally, but they're not. So I would go probably say there's just probably something going on, and I just need to restart my game. It's all right. We've just about reached the end of my stream for today anyway, so. But yeah, we're here Friday nights for an hour. Usually on Friday nights, what we do is we go around and we visit with everybody, see what everybody's been up to. And then on Saturdays like today, we get involved in some kind of project that we're up to. We're all hermits. We have ways to getting around to each other's base, but we don't actually go visit each other very often. So we're all pretty much hermits where we're at. Like, you know, here's Kara. Kara's out in the middle of the ocean. Bazinga's next to Kara, but he's like almost up at build height. This is a floating island. This is like literally way up there in the sky. I'm on top of a nasty volcano and nobody likes to come visit. Let's see, my next closest neighbor would be Mac. And she's over here on the cliff face, but she doesn't like to come visit me. After that, there's Shale up over here. We have Undeniable Cake. He's right over here. Let's see. Astria's Gardens over here. I don't think... Oh, Hilo's down here. Like, everybody's spread all over the place. So, being in the corner is not going to be all that big of a deal to the rest of us. But, all right. Well, I think we're going to do just that. I think we're going to call the stream here for today. I need to relog my game anyways. And then we'll catch up with everybody next time. But hey, it was great talking to you, Frog. Happy you came out. Yeah, we're surrounded by lava everywhere. It's great talking with you. I hope to catch you next time. I will be in touch as soon as I hear it back from the rest of the team. Take care. For everybody else that came out, it was good seeing you. We'll be back here again on Friday for our community night. And then until then, be safe. Have a good weekend. Take care now. Bye.